Hey everyone, welcome to this story. Today it's just me and Matthew Jones, and the topic today is Berserk by Kentaro. I might say his name wrong. But
Uh,
uh, re- go ahead.
Kentaro Miura.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm trouble with names, especially Japanese names.
No, that's my guy. That's my guy.
Yeah, yeah. Rest in peace, man. I hated that how like making comments over there is like like risky with the health and stuff. It's real sad to see him go because I mean his art was amazing.
Yeah, definitely. He was one of the ones that just stood out. And then and it's wild, like what you were talking about, like the health implications of doing the comics out there, because he was one of the ones that like spaced his stuff out too. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like he was doing it like weekly or anything. He would just be on it. But I mean, something like Berserk, it takes the way he developed that story and how long it is, and the seriousness of it. I can imagine how it'll affect your health and stuff.
I say it takes a real master to be able to function an action story / horror. He did it pretty good.
And I agree, and that's the thing. Like reading it and going over it, like because Berserk for me is like my oh my god, like my top, like it's between Berserk and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I know they're like complete like opposites almost, but it's like Berserk was the one that just the anime just changed my mind. And then when I went to the manga and started reading it, because I was kind of bouncing around back in the day, but recently I've been reading it again and being more consistent with it. And it's just a thing where it's like, man, like you said, you got to be to tell that story. You definitely got to be a master at storytelling, and how he crafted everything to where it starts off with Guts, and you can see the evolution of that character from him being wild and hard to where it's like, I don't want nobody bothering me, don't touch me because of past experiences, to later on where he opens up and he's a little bit better about letting people physically touch him and everything. It's like, man, this dude, if I can write even a little bit like that, like him and Araki from JoJo, if I can get even a little bit of how they've done things, then I'd be happy with how I've done, especially because of the action horror part, like the action horror genre, like you were saying.
Yeah. I would actually say that JoJo's Adventure also is able to incredibly pull that off too, because I see JoJo's Adventure as an action / horror, because like some of the elements in that story is like, if you take a look at it, it's very horrifying, like horror movie like.
Yep. He definitely plays. Araki definitely plays with that body horror, as far as like twisting bodies and making it look creepy, whether it's from Rohan's stand, or just twisting the human bodies when they're hit or when their stands are activated. He purposely did that. But even on Berserk, like just going through and looking at Miura, how he drew some of those pages and stuff, it was like, oh my god, this is actually creepy looking. And then like even with Guts in the manga, on how he swings and hits people, because like it's like Guts, for me, it's a thing where with Guts, when he swings his sword, it's usually like in a lot of other stuff, it was a thing where, to me, and I could be wrong, with a lot of other like manga comic books, it's a lot of them are like these clean cuts. Like Guts does it too, where he'll cut people in half, he'll cut off an arm or something. But then there's parts where Guts just does like he just swings the sword and it might chip off a piece of a head or like a piece of a toe, and then it's like these weird angles in which he cuts people, and it seems more realistic and a little bit more gruesome. And so it's like I just look at it and like, how did Miura come up with some of this stuff? Like, this man is solid.
It's like Berserk is so beautiful because, like, once again, like our last episode, when I first came across Berserk, the first thing that came to my mind was Evil Dead. I'm like, did he get this from Evil Dead or something? Because it gave off like an Evil Dead kind of like thing, like how his hand is chopped off and it's replaced with a cannon, and like how Ash's hand is cut off and it's replaced with using a chainsaw and stuff. And I was like, wow, it's like Evil Dead as a manga. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that.
And the fact that I like, to those that haven't read or came across Berserk, this is the main character is a guy that, at first he's going against other humans, but even though that, like, how he be killing the humans is incredible, but at a normal like stature, but then it goes into him, a normal guy fighting demons in normal ways, killing them in extraordinary but still normal ways. And I'm like, wow, like I have never seen a manga where the main character don't got some kind of powers or power up or transformation. I mean, Guts eventually get the dark armor or the beast armor, as some people call, but that's like way later on. I know a lot of people have issues with the armor, but eventually, I think the creator was like, I gotta give him something. I'm making his enemies more and more incredible.
yeah, it's like he gave him that Berserk armor and stuff and everything, and it's like the thing about it is in typical Miura fashion. It's like he gave him the armor, but the armor, it kills him. It ruins him, and it's like, I think people have talked about it, and I feel like Skull Knight's armor may have been something like that for him, to where he understands where Guts is coming from, and that's why he kind of hangs around and helps him, just like on a like base level type of conversation thing.
Yeah,
I really think that's why he kicks it around Guts, and he may have succumbed to his armor. Because for those that don't know, Guts will use that Berserk armor and stuff, and it'll tear up his body, but it'll protect him from most things. It'll heal some wounds and stuff, but it's also going to injure him, drain his life force and all this other stuff, and make him go crazy until what was it? Who was it? The magic girl. I forgot her name. She kind of helps him out to where she can calm him down and get his head right.
You talking about Casca?
No, not Casca. The other one. I keep telling folks I'm terrible with names, but it's the girl that can do the magic and stuff, and she kind of helps him. She kind of helps him from going completely mad while wearing the armor.
I cannot say her name properly. I know it's stuck to the head, but
so it's a thing where he has the armor, but he has like Guts has like major like stuff he has to go through, everything for him. It's a thing where it's not like he gets this power and then in a couple of issues it's gonna be fine and then he gets to move on. It's like, no, that man has to go through it all the time. And so even with the armor, he's strong, powerful and stuff, but he has major repercussions for using it. And I remember at DreamCon, not this year, I think it was last year, the people, and I like them, the people from Black Anime, the Instagram page, had asked me who was like the most moral character in anime or whatever to me. And I said Guts. And the reason why is because Guts has his, not, I didn't get to go into it, right? But it was a thing where it was like I say Guts was had his own set of morals and beliefs in this world that's just completely crazy, like completely just gone off its rocker. And Guts has his morals and beliefs based on, hey, I can protect myself. I can't guarantee that I can protect you. So, especially starting out. So it's like you need to make sure that you can protect yourself or not, because if not, you're an idiot and you're probably gonna get murdered by these demons and stuff. But when he can, it's like Guts will help, or he'll do what he can to help. But he always tells people like, look, that ain't. I'm not here to fight your war or your battle. And I always felt like that was morally right for what he had gone through and what his morals are. Because it's not a thing where it's like I'm trying to help all of y'all. I'm trying to save the world and stuff like that. It's like, no. I got my thing that I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you that I'm not going to help or do certain things. And if you die, that's on you. And I've always respected that. So I still feel like to this day, the Guts is the most moral, especially I would say morally righteous character, especially to himself, in comparison to a lot of other manga heroes and anime heroes.
I definitely agree with you. Especially like the whole concept of like when he comes in contact with her niece and the knights that's with her and all that, and the guy that's representing her kingdom and that's torturing everyone because he's like calling them heretics and stuff. Like Guts is not shy to be like, like y'all just using something just to get your own way, basically. And he's not shy to like show them much. So I think Guts, he was a really good standard for a moral character, because like he warns people, and that's about it. He's not gonna like step away from the line he just drawn or the warning he just gave you.
Oh, definitely. And it's like, and that's the thing for me. And I think it's the thing where it's like, also when it came to that, it was interesting because, like I said, I didn't get to expand on it even with my answer. But and the reason why I say that also is because it's more about an individual thing. Because Guts is that like comparison where it's him and he has his own morals. Then we have a whole town, city, or whatever of people this usually looking to some person either to help them or that's usually what he comes across. He comes across a bunch of people that are under the thumb of somebody that's trifling for the most part. And it's usually because these people they look to these people to be their guiding light and to help them. And I think even like you said, like with Farnese and some other people, it's like they're weak, like they're morally weak, because you're going to fall in line with something that you know is completely wrong with a person, and you're just gonna fall in line and be like, you know what, well, I'm gonna do whatever they tell me or whatever the case may be, out of fear or whatever the case may be, whatever is going on. And I think it's like, even though you're playing this, like, because she was the knight and everything, it's like you're playing this morally superior person, like, I'm a knight and I stand for this and I stand for that. It's like, but after a while, if you don't agree with what's going on, whatever you holding up, it's a joke. It's a joke. And I even feel like that in real life. And then when Guts is going against the slug count, it's like these folks know that what he's doing, they not down with it. That they're not down with what he's doing, how he's acting, how this count is acting, but they still just go along with it and and they just go along with it like it's normal. So I'm like, okay, I'd rather be on somebody's side that's like, look, morally, I'd rather deal with somebody like Guts where it's like, look, I ain't gonna save you, I ain't trying to do all this for you, but this is what it is. This is where I stand. I think all y'all is weak, but that's what, if we can get this done, let's get it done. And I respect that. So, I mean, yeah, but it's just, I've never liked, and maybe that's why I like Guts, because when he comes in contact with these people, it's like, you guys are weak and goofy. Like, how y'all going along with this? This is just what y'all doing. And I've never liked it even in real life. So that's probably why I rock with Guts so much. I know I jumped over all over the place.
Yeah, no problem. I got a question though. Like the whole basis of Berserk is creepy, but what I want to ask, like, what do you think is the most, in your idea, the most creepiest thing or part throughout Berserk? I could go with mine first if you want.
Go ahead, yeah.
Mine's, I like he's able to pull off like the whole story having creepy moments. But I was like going through the most creepiest I thought in the story was like with the furry fairies, the fake fairies, the demon fairies. That, like, how the little girl was like taking kids and turning them into demon fairies, and like how they were just like playing war and stuff and killing each other, and knowing that these is like kids that been turned into these things, and like they're killing each other, and once they get kill each other, they're not getting back up, and like that. Whoever child that was is gone for good and stuff like that, and like it was just creepy how he made that scene pull off. I was like, wow.
Yeah, that was wild. And then, cause I was like, okay, they just killing these folks then. That was wild. But then the other thing that was crazy to me was the whole. For one, they took it. There's a few, but I'm gonna start with, I believe it was the War Dogs when they were going after Griffith in the manga. Those dudes, they were wild, and I don't remember I can't fully remember dude's name. So I'm not gonna go into that one too much now. But I remember in the manga that the lead guy, he was like an apostle, like demon person, and he was just wild and crazy. But then the stuff with Ganishka, when he started sacrificing all those people and started turning people into demons and taking that demon energy, and he was big and the monster and everything, when Griffith had to come fight him and stuff, and I was just like, this is crazy. Like, the way that the people in Berserk, the way that these leaders take and do these people in these cities, in these towns, like, I can understand why you're scared, but I'm like, yo, I'd rather just, you just gonna have to kill me. Like, I'm about to fight or something, because I can't. Man, that was wild to me. And then he's so big, he thinks the people are like ants or whatever, and he thinks he's a god and all this crazy mess because he done took all that demonic energy and stuff. And I'm just like, this is crazy. This is just beyond.
Yeah,
I was like, oh god.
That definitely was crazy, because like how he forgets like who his allies is. It's like,
yeah,
he got doped up or something. And he's like, what are those down there beneath my feet? And they down there like, oh, our king or whatever, and then get stomped on.
Yeah, like, you killed your people, everything. Like, how does this work? Like, no, man, but I mean, what do you expect from somebody that's running around making demon creatures and creating all this other stuff, and then you've been following this person. That's what I never get. That's what I never get about this, like when we're telling stories, going into more of the creative side. I was like, I never get that. Like none of these people don't, and I guess it happens in real life, right? Like whether it's Hitler, whether it's Mussolini and them boys, and everybody else when these wars and stuff with these people that were just doing atrocities. Whether it's Americans in slavery and how they treated black soldiers and stuff. It's like, I guess it's just, you just feel like it's right and you doing shit, and it's like, I'm not gonna look at it. But again, it goes back to me talking about that difference between Guts and normal people that they're just going by the rules. That's why I'm like, he's more moral than a lot of these other people. Because if you fighting like what we're talking about with Ganishka, you're doing all this stuff, and you know he's creating these demons and these demon hybrids. He got this demon energy stuff, and you see this person making these progressions, and you walk around and you treat the people in the cities that you're conquering as you're better than them, and you feel like they should bow down to you or treat you as if you're some type of high moral authority in what you're saying, whether it's the priest or the soldiers. But you know what this person is doing, and you just keep going along with it, being like, well, it is what it is. I'm like, why are you surprised when this motherfucker turned into a whole demon giant and they start stepping on you? And like you said, and like it happened, you don't know if this person is friend, foe, he just stepping on everybody, and then you just lose your life for nothing, for everything this person wanted, without even like looking at it and being like, hey, do I actually align with what this person is doing? No? Well, you just gonna have to kill me before we even get this far. I'm gonna leave, or you gonna have to kill me or something. That's why I still going back to it again. That's why I'm like, yo, Guts is my favorite, and he's more moral than the rest of these people in this world and across a lot of other animes and manga. Because Guts is just like, nah, I ain't going along with that. Because there was a lot of people. It was like, wasn't it? I believe, I could be wrong. What's the succubus woman's name? Huh?
Oh, I was trying to remember too, the succubus. You mean the one that he killed in the beginning of the first issue? Or
no, the one that's in the Godhead. Isn't her name like Slane or something like that?
I think so.
Like I could be pronouncing it wrong, but she's like, hey, you gotta join us. You gotta come on over here with us. And it's like, nah, I'm good. And then I believe Ganishka wanted him to, if I remember correctly, Ganishka was like, hey, you gotta team up with me. And Guts is like, yeah, I'm fighting Griffith and all them too, but I ain't teaming up with you. Like, no, go on somewhere with that. It's a thing where, like, I always respect that about Guts. I've always respected that about Guts.
Oh yeah, and going back on the character you were talking about, the succubus, like her name is Slang, and it is insane, like, because like they have a part where like that time he's trapped in a cave or a cabin or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, and she's trying to entice him to either join them or she just intrigued with Gus, I guess sexually or whatever. And he's like, I'm not for that.
Yeah.
And like, he'll eventually be able to like harm her and stuff like that. But it's crazy because like what you were talking about, like with Hitler and stuff. It's kind of like a whole topic throughout Berserk. First, it shows like how similar humans are like that, and then like what you were just talking about, the Ganesh dude, and then it's still like that with Griffin after he rewrites the world, and like he just roaming around this giant kingdom he made with demons and
yeah.
People were so fascinated with him, they're able to be like, oh, there's some demons with him. Ah, that's cool.
Yeah, like that was my thing too. Like he got all them apostles and stuff with him, and he got the different levels of apostles, right? And so they're running around in his little kingdom, and then there's humans there, and then so the humans see everything that's going on, and then some of the lower level apostles are still harassing the humans and everything, but they're like, hey, okay, we gonna kick it around here. You got demon people running around talking about eating y'all and stuff, and just because Griffith is the leader, y'all just going along with it. And of course, some of his higher ranking apostles stop it. They're like, man, get out of here with that. We ain't trying to eat up on these people and stuff. That ain't what we doing right now. Control yourself. Get up out of here. A lot of them kind of step in when they start acting a little bit too crazy, but still, it's like, yo, like, what? Like, how does this?
Yeah,
yo, man, like, how does this work? Like, we don't. That's like, even with my Facebook. Like, go ahead.
Like he made a whole nother area where they're like secretly over there ripping each other apart so they can control their demon tendencies. Like their thirst for blood and just havoc. You know, he just created a battle pit where they just like destroying each other and killing each other so they don't inflict that tendency on the humans that's populated around that area.
Yeah.
It's like crazy.
And so
go ahead.
And so I'm like, nobody. I mean, it's like, how does this work? How does this go on? And we just standing around like, oh yeah, we fine with that, and we gonna keep kicking it with this person. Like, I've never understood that. And even, like I said, even in life, I remember being a kid, like certain things, like I always tell people, I was the kid in like first and second grade to where they would talk about Santa Claus, and I'd be like, but Santa Claus, wait, but Santa Claus don't exist. And then the teacher will get mad at me and be like, hey, you gotta come outside, let me talk to you. I'm like, wait, what happened? Like, you can't say that Santa Claus don't exist and this and that. I'm like, but he don't. Like, I know that my mother gives me these presents and stuff like that. Why would I say that? And this isn't anything that my mom or nobody told me, like, right? This isn't anything that they told me, you better not say to Santa Claus. My mom didn't do that to me. It was just a thing where it's like, I buy you the toys, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, so you want me to not say that Santa Claus doesn't exist, and y'all just want, this doesn't make sense though. And even as a first, second grader, it didn't make sense. And to me, it still don't make sense. But that's what I always equated to. Like when it comes to these certain things, people would just rather believe in a whole daggone lie than tell the truth. And then my thing is, even if it's like that, like you in this spot with Griffith and everything, and if it's a thing where it's like, okay, I'm here, I know they got these apostles, these demons, they ripping each other apart, killing each other, and they even talk about attacking us. But if it's a thing where I'm fine with it because I feel like that this is better than out there, okay, and maybe that's what most of the people are how most of them are taking it, to where it's better than whatever. But then even still, I'm like, in your mind, like this short-term thinking, and this is just me kind of applying myself to the story. This doesn't take away from the story. It doesn't make me dislike the story and they'll say the story sucks. It's just me, the way I process stuff, right? So it's like, even with that short-term thinking, in the long term, I would think, man, what if one of these guys get loose and they kill me and my family, or they kill all these other people? I don't think I want to be a part of that. Or they've been doing a lot of marching and going out and killing and coming back with more people or whatever. It's like, when is that gonna come get us? So my whole thing is like, yo, I couldn't be a part of that. I couldn't be a part of that. So, I mean, that's just like, again, that's just my philosophy on things like this. So.
But yeah, I definitely think that it's strange that how, like, even with reality in the culture, society culture, it's okay with like lying at some extent, because like some people is okay with their kids believing in Santa, like you said, even though everyone knows Santa is not real. But
Yeah.
like, do I think kids would be okay even if they knew Santa wasn't real? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how it is to be a kid and believe in Santa and then grow up and realize Santa isn't real. Because ever since I can remember, like I knew Santa was like this greeting card, like man, like to make money or whatever. But
Yeah.
I know who bought the presents, so I can't really speak on the experience of someone that believed in Santa as a kid. But like going into like just like the creative ability that he had, what's your thought on like how he structured his story and stuff like that? And is there anything that you would add on or do different?
No, I can't say I like. It's almost like with Miura and Araki. Those are my two that I couldn't be like, no, I can't. I wouldn't do anything different. There ain't nothing I could do. But I can say that I hope to implement what they've done into my stuff. Because the only thing for the most part with Miura was just a thing where he died, and we didn't get to see the end of the story. And his team is taking care of. The team is taking care of some stuff, but we're still like, it's not.
Yeah, like,
we don't know if Miura would have really wanted it to go the way. And it hasn't even. It's only been a couple of issues, right?
Well, it's I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just going off of what he said. His friend, which had been his longtime friend, the one that's planning. I mean, he said he lived from a book, like book of plans or everything for his story. So he's saying he's going off of the notes and everything that they done talked about.
Yep.
When he was alive. So like, if that is so, if that is true, then I say that's great. I mean, I think he's pulling off the art style as good as he can. Like, as far as I can see, I know like more like had crazy details in his art. So that's one thing. Like that's a hard feat to like try to keep like going behind.
Yeah.
But just seeing that like what he created so far is great.
Mm-hmm.
So like even if like his plans or the notes he left don't add up to like something, I will find like, oh, that's not really a good ending, or I'm like, why is it going in that way? And like, that's how he wanted it to go. If the notes and the info he gave him is true, then I'm definitely okay with whatever way, like, direction it goes into, or how it continues, or how it ends. Because like what he was able to make so far was great,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I agree. So hopefully it'll be that way. But going back to what you were talking about, like as far as like changing, I just hope when I was talking about the implementing thing, I would hope that I can even get part of a story that is as gripping as that, to where I can write that style to where when you're reading it the whole time, you feel like the pacing is keeping you there the whole time. Because for me, Berserk is one of the ones where I'll start reading, and you know how sometimes you'll read manga and it's like you'll look at it and it might be like 70-something pages or whatever, and I'd be like, God, it's like I gotta go do other stuff. I don't want to sit there and read this many pages or whatever. And it's like for that one, I'll start reading, and then from start to finish, because of the pacing and how he sets up everything, I don't feel like I'm like reading a bunch of dead parts, or it's just like, oh, get to it. The whole time,
wasting your time or something.
Yeah,
You
like
don't
it's
have
like the whole,
time.
yeah, like the whole time I feel like I know that Miura is getting to something, and all of this stuff counts. All of this stuff counts. Everything I'm reading, it counts, and is getting towards an actual goal. This person that's talking right here matters. This person is going back and forth here matters. And the thing about it is, if they don't, they're dead. It's like most of the people in Berserk is like, if they don't really matter, if they whatever, it's not gonna be a thing where they're gonna be here talking and they're gonna be like, no, they dead, they're gone. And they don't do that. Now I understand that people like Oda might be able to like have this person that they talk a little bit and then it's like, oh, we'll see you later, or we buddies and it was good talking to you. Oda will bring them back around later on and they're like, oh, they're so and so now, and I can respect that too. But for me, in Berserk, it's like, again, I wouldn't change anything. I hope that I can implement to where it's like, I just know that, well, no, I don't know what's going to happen from page to page, or who's going to pop up or when Griffin and them are going to pop up and cause some issues, and we're going to learn something that deepens the story. Because in Berserk, it's also a thing where you're learning about it, and everything that you learned for the story all has its place. And it's like, oh, okay, this busted up castle is something that leads to this underground city, or all this mess down here leads to why the demons are like this. And it's a thing where you got to start adding in and looking at everything across the board. And it's like, I've been trying to work on that sort of thing to where everything that I'm writing has a place, and I don't have a bunch of dead space to where it's like, oh yeah, like useless banter that's going on to just like character building. But it's like, I can be telling this story the whole time and building up these characters with guts, with the old, like going back to the beginning, like with the slug count issue where he had the little old dude that he looked like and he had his face ate off and everything, and killed his wife and son and everything. It's like, and that guy, he gets a little overexcited and he touches Guts. And Guts is like, get your hands off of me, basically. And it's like, you may be like, oh man, that what did he do that for? Why is he like that? Why is he? There's not a long back and forth between them, but they get to it, and then later on you find out why Guts doesn't like people touching him. And I feel like some of the stuff, some of the banter that goes on in certain stories, and even in mine, I've done it in mine to where it's like, yeah, it's character building, but do I really need them to just be going back and forth for no reason? Like, is there a reason why they do this? And I feel like Miura is really good at building those characters and having a reason why they act the way they do, and then you find out later on why they do it. And it all makes sense on who they are, without it just being like, hey, let's stop and go sit here and go back and forth with each other a little bit and then go back to what we were doing. No, it's like, no, all this is going on while they're getting to where they need to be. Also, it's happening while while the main story is being told. And it's not that other people don't do it, but it's just that Miura does it in a way for me to where I notice it, I see it for what it is, and then I also stay engaged with the story. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so that's how I see it. That's how I see it. So I hope to implement, not change. There's nothing that I'd be like, I'd change that, or I would have did this different with that story. There actually isn't. When I was talking about Iraqi, the only thing I would change was the whole stuff at the end of Stone Ocean. That's like,
I definitely agree with you. There's not much that needs to be changed about definitely Berserk and stuff. I do feel bad that like that's the one fear if you're a creator, like to start something and have to get on this direction or path, and you're not able to see it through. So I just hope like it turns out good. But you know, I know in one factor that it's not gonna have his 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 DNA in it anymore, even if there's notes or ideals he done shared with his friend. Because like as creators, something can change any day while you're alive and creating something. Something can be like, you know what? I want to change that about that. Let me figure out how to change that without like making everything else messy and stuff. And the fact that he's gone, not really gonna have that potential anymore. It's gonna be how it is, and like it's gonna be weird if like his friend like want to change something. So it's not gonna be the same if he feels like something might need to be changed or tweaked. So that's one thing. But before we end the day, I know you're doing something great and incredible in Milwaukee. I think I said it right.
Yeah.
Like you want to mention that real quick, or?
Oh, most definitely. So I will be having SableCon out here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, October 28th, 2023. I almost said 2020. I was like, wait, that's 2023. I'm tripping.
You know, that happened to me one day. I was like, wait a minute. Like, let me step back.
Wait a minute. Let me slow down real quick. My mind is going back faster than my mouth. And so it'll be my first one out here, but the second SableCon all together. So we'll definitely, I want everybody to come out. If you can come out in the Milwaukee area, come out, see what we doing. It'll only be one day. North Carolina is 2. But this one will be one day to start out with and everything. And then we'll just build up from there. It's going to be cool. So we'll be giving out candy since it'll be close to Halloween for the kids. We'll have free comic books coming along with the tickets for everybody that buy. It's $5 for kids, 12 and under, and adults. 12 and up. Sorry, it's $5 for kids 12 and up and adults. Kids 12 and under, 11 and under stuff. Under 12 they can get in for free. So we're gonna have anime We're gonna have manga, comics, anime cosplay vendors, all that type of stuff. So it'll be cool, and I want folks to really come out and we get it going, because I don't feel like there's a lot out here in Milwaukee when it comes to like comics and stuff. There's like 2, and then there's some other ones, but when I go, I don't get to see a lot of like comic vendors. So I wanted to focus a lot on the creators and everything, and give a lot of the creators an avenue to get out here and do stuff with, because those are my favorite types of conventions, where it's a lot more comic creators, but there's a good mix. But we make sure that we get these creators out there and give them an avenue to make a couple of dollars and stuff, and to get out there and get their work in front of people. Because I'm even reaching out to like Brown Deer High School out here, to where we can work with some of the art students and give them a space to put their art up. So hopefully I can work with some of the art teachers. I talked to one where I'll get in contact with him again, and I want to see about having them do like a page of a certain topic or idea, and then we get them to do like a page or so, and we display it at the convention, just so we can start letting young folks know that it's weird, because they tell young folks and kids that there's no kind of profit in doing art or anything, and the art's ain't a good career path. But the whole world and everything around us is art. Like
Right.
it's wild. It's like multi-million-dollar from movies to video games to music,
TV
all of
shows,
it. Yeah, all of it.
fashion.
Fashion, even architecture. Everything requires art.
Yeah.
It requires somebody to make images of what from labels, from fast food to everything.
Devices. Someone got all that design right. Look.
Bruh, we can keep going, but we telling them, no, that's not viable. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Right. Well, I think you been paid too much for it. You know, you think you should be paid too much for that. You know, it's not that valuable. Well, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well,
So I agree, and I'm like, I want to start showing them that it is viable. Now you may have to. It may not be as easy as being like an engineering. You have to do some more of that initial hard work, like freelancing, doing your own stuff, posting what you do and everything. You'll have to do more of that. But once you in there, a lot of these people make them a decent little bit of money depending on where they're at and stuff. It just may take a little bit more time. But I definitely wanted to have that avenue, so I'll be reaching out to them again to do our second meetings and stuff so that we can see about getting displays for the kids in high school and stuff, and see about having them display their art at the convention. And that's something I want to do to kind of draw in and help and give a platform to the people in the community as well. So that's what's going to be going on with SableCon October 28th here in Milwaukee. And then also we still have we got locked in for June 1st and 2nd in Knightdale, North Carolina next year. So we'll have SableCon again out there in Knightdale, June 1st and 2nd in at the Ace Event Center in Knightdale, North Carolina. So that's later on, but we were able to lock it in and work with the great people over at the Ace Center, Vince, my man Vince and his wife and stuff. So we'll have that later. But SableCon, October 28th here in Milwaukee is coming up first, and I want to see everybody that can make it. I want to see them there.
Well, that's definitely incredible what you're doing for the kids, and y'all heard it, the schedules and the places, and y'all like, yo, go out and support my boy here, man. The day's been great, and thank you all for like sitting and listening. And this has been Journey to the Story, and we're out. Peace.
Peace.